Hey, you guys. Peekaboo. I can't see you, but hey, I'm here. I wanted to come on because a video just, came on through my mind, and I said, let me hop on here and get this content out. I plan to get some more content out between today and tomorrow. So look forward to that, you guys. And those of you who are subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell so that you can be notified. I did not, go into support groups and make an announcement. So hopefully, like I said, you guys are just subscribed and hit the bell. Well, I won't have to do that. I do it as a courtesy, though. But there really is always a third party involved. And I want to just take a moment to talk about that here on this channel, especially, when we're dealing with a toxic person and a narcissist. All right. So, a lot of times on this channel, a lot of people can be one-dimensional, and I work really hard for you guys to try to see angles and to not limit yourself and seeing aspects. All right. So when I say a third party, we're not just talking about romantic. If you've ever had a relationship with someone and you found that there's always something else coming in between, always something else in the middle of, this is what I'm talking about. And with a narcissist, this is definitely something that's highly susceptible to happening because we're talking about someone who needs to get their supply, right? And, when they're coming from this the more the merrier, it's going to come from all different types of angles here. So we're talking about family and friends. We're talking about work. We're talking about even pets. They could put their dog before you. Okay. And then, yes, there's other lovers. And, when I say third party, that's a minimum, in these type of situations, when we're talking about a narcissist, fourth, fifth, sixth, like we got to keep continuing here of all the people that are actually getting in between here. And I want to also expand upon the third party to put another bracket here, So yeah, not only just friends and family and work and lovers and pets, and we're going to have to extend it to things. They could put a car before you, okay? They can put a house before you. So things, tangible things and also intangible things. The third party could be their fucking ego, okay? So there's always going to be something getting in the middle of a relationship with a toxic person because they don't know boundaries and they don't know how to prioritize things appropriately, right? And they have this energy of codependency where everything is running off up and through. So I just took a moment to think about, why do they need these third parties to begin with? And what I came up with is, first, of course, stimulation. The next thing I came up with is validation, because they're certainly looking to be validated when we're talking about NPD here. And they're getting validation through having flying monkeys. They're getting validations through running to someone to say, yeah, you were right in the situation. And of course, every time they're explaining their situation, victimizing themselves, telling a bunch of lies, putting their shit on the other party. So anybody listening to this situation is going to take the narcissist side, or if they're taking them as being truthful anyway, right? And this is what they're doing. So in that case, they're looking for sympathy as well, right? They're also looking to cause more drama, right? Because this feeds into the cycle of abuse, so they can get into a devalue and a discard phase, right? They could be using these third parties as punishment, of course, making you feel like you're not good enough or inadequate, right? They use third parties to push their accountability off on other people's, because as long as somebody else is in the middle of it, the narcissist can kind of find a way to finagle themselves out of being fully accountable for something, right? But the whole thing to understand about this whole situation is they invite these third parties in. This is how their family and friends know all your business. This is how they're side-eyeing you and looking at you all weird. It's because they already been running their mouth about you behind your back, right? And playing the fence, smiling in your face, and then talking behind your back. And it could be, you could have a level of relationship with this person that should be sacred, you know? And well, even if it's just a friendship, and I ain't saying just to minimize friendship here, that should have a level of respect in it, right? But we're talking about even going up to marriage here. And this is why, you know, they don't deserve to be married. They do not deserve to be married. So I also, as I thought about these third-party involvements, I also thought about the family and friend aspect of it. And I came up with some other things as well that are, you know, further insightful about this. Now, we have to understand, even though we don't talk a lot about this aspect of the narcissist, it's true that the narcissist was abused as well, you guys. They were. But, you know, they're part of the group of people that inevitably become their abusers. Some people get abused and, you know, they begin to take on the traits and characteristics and behaviors of their abusers. That's how people who got raped as a child end up growing up and becoming the rapists themselves. With that being said, you guys, when the narcissist is remaining in connection, particularly when we want to look at the family and friend aspect, it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched to consider that they're trauma bonded to them. You know, the narcissist has trauma bonds as well. So they're wanting that validation, and they're still actually, especially if we're going back to their original narcissist that kind of converted them over, if you will, they're still trying to get that validation from them. They're still trying to fill a void that, you know, they're never going to fill because they're dealing with another narcissist themselves. Okay. So, you know, this is just a deeper level of looking at it. And some of you might meet a narcissist and they might even confide in you about all the family drama and of their friends, and this one did that to them and all this stuff that they've been through. And then they will still put these people over you, and you're scratching your head like, wait a minute, I've been nothing but good to you, but you still are putting these people, you're still making these people a priority. You're still flocking with these people. Well, number one, they're like that energy. That's the energy that they're actually comfortable with, even though it's toxic, even though it's unhealthy, even though these people have betrayed them and this and that. Number one, this is how the narcissist moves and shake. This is how they grew up. So they're used to that energy to begin with, right? But, you know, there's a psychological aspect to it that the narcissist may be subconsciously not even realizing them damn selves, you know? And, you know, these people are manipulating that narcissist. Narcissists can be manipulated. We're always talking about how they're the master of manipulations and da-da-da-da-da. Well, you know, they're dealing with other narcissists that are manipulating them. Hell, an empath can manipulate a narcissist once they understand their strength and how a narcissist operates. You could manipulate one of them. You know, I just always recommend getting away from that energy just because it's a double-edged sword. And any manipulations that you're doing on them, you're going to be hurting yourself in a process on a certain kind of level because you're coming into contact with a certain kind of energy. Okay. So, you know, to me, that makes it a bad idea, generally speaking. But yeah, it gets really deep when you think about the rabbit hole of things. So these narcissists, you know, they're having these trauma bonds as well. So, and this is why. And these people, these family and friends and stuff, they're trying to manipulate this narcissist because they're narcissists too. They don't want the narcissist to be getting good supply with you. They're probably jealous of it them damn selves. Granted, the narcissist doesn't deserve it, but they tend to keep people around them in their life that will help them and encourage them to in making further poor, being a poor decision maker, or reinforce their poor behaviors and poor communication and just things that they shouldn't be doing, you guys. And that's why they say birds of a feather flock together. Like they're surrounded by other low riders and low vibrational people. And especially when it comes to the family, that's why I say in many videos, I don't care how much the family ha kiki in your face when the narcissist is love bombing you and it's all seeming to be good. They know what it is. And you have to understand this as well. If the narcissist cares about supply, guess who's always in the background, no matter what, seemingly so. Unless they're discarding the narcissist, which happens, they're discarding their family and friends, and it's in a cycle. That's why it might be times when they have a fallout, but they always come back together. As I study a lot of spiritual things and, just higher levels of thinking, I guess that's a part of their little soul tribe, if you will. And they rock out with each other for the most part. But while they still continue to betray each other, but that's the energy that they're all familiar with. So when you leave the narcissist, even though those people are toxic, they're welcoming the narcissist back. They're welcoming them back. Like, come on back to the dark side, baby. Come on. It's like crabs in a barrel, if you will. I have witnessed this firsthand. And I'm like, whoa, like I'm just, you get glad that you're away from it. But when you sit back and you look from the outside in, and it's like, these are the same people that caused all the trauma that, even made you susceptible to become what you are today. But here they are cheering you on when you done lost a good person in your life, and etc. When you done lost a promotion or whatever, anything that may be good that the narcissist gets. Now they're going to taint it anyway, but that energy that they're surrounding themselves by, it damn sure ain't going to help them. So, with this whole consideration of the third parties and always being a third party involvement, this could be extra annoying if you're married. Like marriage is supposed to be sacred. Like your family and stuff. Okay, there are my extended family now and this and that. But marriage is supposed to be between those two people, and you ain't going to get that privacy. That narcissist is telling them all your business. And they're like encouraging this narcissist to completely sabotage the relationship. Granted, they're going to do it anyway, but they help them do it on, they speed up the process. Let's just put it that way. And then they're there to welcome the narcissist back after another fail. Like, of course you felon. So, yeah, that whole idea of monogamy and one-on-one, you could forget about that. There's just always going to be some type of third party involved. So I just wanted to come on here, you guys, and just share my thoughts with that, the third parties. But yeah, it's definitely goes beyond just, cheating. So let me just take a look at these comments here. God knows says, yeah, a lot of third parties. Yeah. Like we don't even know. We just scratching the surface with them. Both parents, narcissists, since a family of narcissists. Yeah. And that's rough. Like you don't even got a chance. That's why when you start dating people, you really got to take it serious, survivors. And a lot of people, they might say, I'm marrying you and not your family. That is a lie. That is a lie. Like, you have to find out if that person is already a narcissist, is going to be more of them in that family. And then, yeah, you got to take that serious. You got to take it serious and see how that person interacts, because I've witnessed a lot, you guys, over the years. I've heard it. I've talked to a lot of survivors. Like, these third parties, they're going to always come before you. And I made a video like maybe almost 3 years ago at this point, where I talked about the primary source. I don't even know why. Well, I guess we know why we call it the primary. Is because you technically on paper have that highest rank in the narcissist's life, a husband, a wife, something like that. But in a narcissist's mind, just because they married you, and don't think that's going to make the narcissist make you a priority. For those of you who are dealing with one and you think, well, once we get married, marriage only exposes the problems. Whatever problems you guys have now is going to be 100-fold after you get married. And if they're not making you a priority now, getting married to them is not going to change that. Okay. And this is, even with a non-narcissistic toxic person. So God knows says they are drawn to people they can control. And if they cannot, they will destroy you. Absolutely. And I started making my notes about that, because one of the next videos that I'm going to be doing is going to be called It's All About Control. Because really, that is the fundamental thing in the nucleus of these toxic relationships. It's all about control. Even when it seems to be masked with other elements, it is all about control. So I definitely want to share that with you guys and my thoughts on that too. So God knows is already, thinking on that energy. Life of Destiny says 100. Oh, yeah, it's true with these third parties. Like, R. Bond says a lot of it probably unconscious, but he gravitated to all the madness in his family. Yeah, reckless insanity. He would fall back on them for negative supply. Right. And there's, some type of comfort with that. You have to think about it on a psychological level, like, especially if we're talking about one of their primary caretakers who probably set them up to operate as they are, as it is. It's just something inside of them that's just really used to that energy, and that still is actually longing to try to reconcile it to begin with. So, yeah. So all the people that the narcissist is getting with is just a symptom. It's a symptom. So those original narcissists in their life is the root. So they're always going to go back to their roots. You know what I mean? They're going to go back to their roots. They're going to go back. Queen Tracy says, Happy Valentine's Day. Absolutely. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys. I kind of made a little video earlier to help you guys, think about that too, especially for the single ones, especially for people who are recently discarded or, broke away from that relationship. Congratulations. You should be celebrating today. What a wonderful time to, turning the corner on increasing your self-love and having Valentine's Day come up. That's nothing to be boo-hooing about. It's about celebrating love, generally speaking, and finally having that proper self-love, Tamara Jackson says narcs are the worst gossipers. Right. And they don't even be having the facts on top of that, And then, we can take it beyond gossiping with them and take it to the smear campaign, because that's what they're doing with their family and friends. I've had people block me, unfriend me, based off of what the narcissist says. So Life of Destiny says a lot of survivors take it personal when it has nothing to do with them. It's all about the narcs. They're selfish, extremely selfish, extremely selfish. And I'm making another video very soon I think I pretty much have all the notes for about the narcissist and mental illness. Now, I already made a video about this on the channel, but it's been like a couple of years since I gave it like some up close attention. So I thought it would be good to, go over it again about the mental illness part. Definitely slow it down and take it slow. As a matter of fact, it has to be a red flag when someone comes in your life and want to go 0 to 100. We know that's called a love bomb. So yes, please slow it down. And some of you might feel a little weird by that when you actually meet a non-narcissistic person, when you're used to dating a lot of narcissists and they actually, go at that slower pace, is going to be noticeable. And it might feel weird to you at first. Let that be a good sign. It's kind of like someone who attracted to the same type of energy and you're getting something the complete opposite. Okay. And then you might have to watch yourself, because you might find yourself, especially for the feminine energy out there, trying to push things to go faster, when in actuality, that other person is being healthy and you're just used to dating those narcissists. All right. But you stay in your feminine energy and, go with that pace. Yeah. Twinkle Toes said he got mad because she called him one. Yeah. They don't like to be called it. And we'll talk about that in that mental illness video. But, it's really rough with them because there's so much delusion and illusion. We're talking about mental illness that's not even being treated. So, they're off their meds. And this is how they're getting progressively worse, you guys. When you have someone that's in complete denial about even having a problem with them, they ain't going to the doctors and getting treated. Aw. Love you, girl. Thank you for that compliment. Arbon says they will triangulate you with stuffed toy. Yeah, always a third party. Yeah. And that's important, talking about that triangulation aspect of things. That's another reason why they need these third parties to triangulate, pull you back in, make you jealous. I'm telling you, always trying to play with your mind, play the games. But, it's 2021 around here and we're not naive. We're done with these games. When someone's showing you that they want to play games with your precious time that you can never get back, by the way, you have to get out of there. You have to get out of there. I love it when I'm progressively talking to someone in coaching sessions and I see the shift in them and they don't play around with people anymore. Does that mean you got to be this evil, mean bee? No, I'm not saying that. But they're trusting themselves. They'll go on a dating site and they're like, you know what? I just didn't like that person's energy. I didn't need to investigate it. I didn't need to validate it any further. They gave me some quick signs. And I was okay with letting that person go. I'm like, you know what? Bam, you're out of codependency. You are out of it. Not only that, you're more reconnected with yourself. And I get so excited for them because they're trusting their discernment. They're trusting the messages that God's sending them. And when you don't do that, you end up having to learn things the hard way. Or you got to take some L's to get that lesson or reinforcement. So you got to believe what you're seeing. You got to take the energy that person is showing you. Believe people when they tell you. Or, be able to pick up the nonverbal cues, which brings me to another video called Sugarcoat. Look out for that. I'm going to be doing that one too, because these type of people, they love to sugarcoat things. And I really want to draw some attention to that aspect of them too. And this is all just a part of increasing our emotional maturity so that, we'll see through these things. You're going to be like 1,000 steps ahead. It's nothing they're going to be able to do to you. And as long as you have your self-worth, when this person leaves you and don't call you, you're going to know, like, because they know I seen through their ass, or, they had to disappear. They have to go back to the drawing board because they can't fuck with you. They can't fuck with you. And if they used to be able to do it in the past and they try to cycle around, which we're going through a Mercury retrograde right now, all types of, issues and people and things from your past are probably resurfacing just to see just to see, number one, do you want to start another round? Have you not taken your lessons? Okay. And B, or to give you an opportunity to deal with a situation that you may not have dealt with properly. Are you going to do the right thing by the situation? But obviously, the right thing by a narcissist coming back is to maintain your no contact and know your worth. Tamara Jackson said, one thing I noticed with my ex-narc is that he had an incredible way of remembering everything I said or did that hurt his feelings. I guess, yeah. It's possible. And then sometimes they might actually twist your words, which is what I find a lot of times. Maybe they might mistake something that you're saying because they're always listening to things off the defense. They're always listening to things off the defense. So, and they're in that victimized energy and they need to look like you were wrong. So a lot of times, they're not the best listeners in that way. And they might twist up your words or, spin it in a way you didn't say it, or maybe you didn't really mean it that way, or, add in dramatics to it. I find that they do that as well. But yeah, they're trying to store stuff so that when they do something, because they're a tit for tat, their energy is a tit for tat. That's why if you ever approach them on something that they've done, they will be very quick. The first thing out of their mouth is going to be what you've done. It's not going to be addressing them at all. They need to find something you've done similar, or they're even try to gaslight you with a flat out lie. Because they just inherently, they don't want to feel wrong. They don't like to take accountability. They always want to shift the blame and point a finger. So this is what they do, people. Love You says she needed this today and she really appreciated things and she's done a lot of healing and that's awesome. And she says she can't wait to get coaching one day. And thank you for the super chat, sweetie. Yeah, I'm home with my children, myself, and I just thought it would be a good time to hop on and get some content out. And you guys know I've been using like these live chats to do that. Did I get to everybody's comments? It looks like I did. All right. Well, I hope you guys take something away from this and it's third party and understand, because some of you may not even know you're in a third party situation because you're only thinking of it as of if they're cheating with someone. As far as romantic. No, honey, it could be other things. The family and the friends could be the real third party in the situation. Understand, and they getting all up in between your relationship. But if it's with a narcissist, take comfort in knowing they were already fucking up too. It's just the family and friends, they just take it to a whole nother level. And yeah. But it could be work, it could be pets, okay, and things. They might, like I said, they could put a car before you. They could put, a home, a house before you. And it's always going to be automatically their ego before you. So if there's no other third party, it's going to be their ego, minimally speaking. Minimally speaking, you guys. But I like, I don't like to run topics together. Sometimes people will come on and do like a 4-hour live chat and they'll talk about 10 different things. And I just find it easier to break it up on a channel like this. It helps people find the content a little bit better and it keeps things organized as far as, finding information. But yes, Arbon, I appreciate you guys as well. If you came in through, make sure that you guys always hit a like for my videos. I want to grow the channel, so hit a like, subscribe, share the content, leave comments are always welcome. And thank you guys for joining in. Hit the bell, because I'm spontaneous with things and I have content coming up, you guys, and I would love for you to join me on that too. I have another one called The Con Artist. And then I want to do one where I'm just talking about what a healthy relationship looks like versus a non-healthy one. And I know it may seem like common sense, but trust me, I'm going to say some things in here that, on a higher level of psychology. So expect to hear things that, may not have been in the front part of your mind. So don't take that video as something to skip. As a matter of fact, all of the videos you guys really should listen to. It really helps. And I put up a video last week, Before You Sleep with Them Again. Okay. Please watch that video. I'm looking at the count, and that one, you guys are sleeping on it. And I feel like, you watch that video, you'll never look at sex the same again if you don't already think this way. I really need you to get this. This will stop all of that I miss the soul tie with the narcissist and all of this stuff. This is going to help debt that. When you get these types of concepts that I talk about in that video, I put it up last week. Please check that out, all right? Because we're all grown here. We all have hormones, and you know what that leads to. So we really need to understand the concept of your sexual energy and what narcissists are giving you in return, you guys, all right? With that being said, you guys, thank you for joining in. Never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. And until next time, which will be pretty soon, I'm going to see which one I'm going to jump into. I might just run right into another live chat, but just hit the bell. But until next time, take care, you guys.